telling me that you guys are about to give up. You're about to give up on your manifestations. You're about to give up on your dream. Spirit is telling you to not give up on your fantasy world, the delusion, the idea that you created in your head, to not give up on it. And so a lot of you guys are feeling the sensation that you are feel like your manifestations are not manifesting to the world. You're feeling like they are not coming fast enough, that you've been working hard, you've been staying consistent. But that's the whole point. Because the point isn't just to automatically reward you just by doing work. You have to work at it, and eventually, when there is consistency, the universe, the world will reward you back tenfold. But the card is it's all about this journey, and to not rush that journey. It's all about the patches, your way to the destination, to not rush this destination. Because once you get to that destination, once you start to achieve those desires, your life is going to start to be more chaotic. You're going to start to be a lot more busier than you really are right now. I'm feeling like for some of you guys, your content creation, maybe you are a business worker. And I've also seen like this little like piece of hair that was on my head earlier, like blocking my eye a little bit. That tells me that you feel like in some ways that you're blocked. But the thing is, a little strand of hair, that is only temporary. That is only temporary. You can still see. Yes, there's a little bit of a blockage, but your eyes are visible. Yes, there's a little bit of blind spot, but you are to stay on the course. You are to stay where you have to go, where you're heading. Because the thing is, it's starting to unfold. Things don't happen all automatically. First, you put out the manifestation. You put out your thoughts, your idea, what you want to see in your fantasy world. And then after you put that out into the universe, it seeds, it goes to the ground, it goes through this germination phase, and it's now starting to break free, it's now starting to break open. That's why it's called the unfolding. This is a fern. Ferns naturally take a little bit to get going, but they're very hardy, they're very resilient, especially an ostrich fern. Maybe you guys have an ostrich that maybe it might be your spirit animal, maybe you just saw something, maybe there's some sort of relevance here. But the unfolding card for the fern is telling me that you are about to bloom, you're about to blossom. Don't give up because you're right there. You're right on the cusp, and it's about to reward you. And a lot of you guys are wondering about that rewardment, whether or not the time, the worth, the energy was worth the investment. But this card comes in is that it's going to invest back in you. What you invested, you will now get back. You are now going to get a high interest rate on top of that. So what does that mean? That means that when you put something into action, it's the plan, and over time you feel like things are not being rewarded back to you, guess what? As it starts to build up and starts to compound, it creates a high interest for the universe to be able to pay you back, which means that you're going to get more the longer you wait and sit for something better to come your way. So if you know anything about business, that's a really great strategy. It's all about realizing that the longer somebody holds a debt, for example, the more it compounds in interest. The same thing, the universe owes you something. It owes you that debt, and therefore it's going to increase its interest the longer it waits. So instead of seeing it from the lens of like it's not coming fast enough, see it from the lens of, oh my God, the universe owes me a debt, and the longer I stay consistent, the more I keep compounding that, the universe is going to have to give me more than what I'm originally asking for. Just saying. Just saying. Food for thought. And the next card that I'm getting here is misunderstood. You're not misunderstood. You are aware of that. You're not misunderstood because you have the audacity to speak your voice. You have the audacity to overcome. I feel like you guys did a lot of healing work. You did a lot of dark night of the soul, and you're about to overcome that. You're about to reveal that. You're on a content creation. You're doing work. I feel like a lot of you guys who are following me, you're like content creation. You're doing a lot of creative work, a lot of creative endeavors. But this is somebody who's a little bit different than the traditional collective that I've been reading. This is a new collective that's coming in now. This is telling me here that you guys are very, very in tune with who you are and what you want, and what your life purpose is, and what you expect this life to take you, where you want it to take you. That's why these two cards come in, because you're not misunderstood. And you have the audacity to speak your truth. Other people have been criticizing you when you were younger, but now you don't feel criticized because you know your power, you understand your power, you stand in your power. Yes, there's a little bit of a segment. I'm seeing like a very small segment of you like, what? That's not me. The thing is, it's because that's who you're going to become. That's who you're going to be. There's two audiences here. It's not all going to connect right away, but it is going to. It will make sense in time. Because the cards here is all about you fixated on your memories. You're fixated on your thoughts, what happened in the past, the joy that you joy that it brought you to Monarch. The Monarch Butterfly is very interesting here because I'm seeing a lot of butterflies around you in particular. And the Monarch Butterfly is indicating that you are at the top of the food chain. You are on the top of all butterfly species. You are the one that people remember the most. The one that the people think about the most. My bad. That's the memory card. Because you also have here the next card, which means dietary change in reverse. You don't need to change something. You don't need to change the way you're consuming, the things that you're doing, the action you're taking. Because you have done the work, you have done the change. And therefore, you just have to wait for the world, the reality to reflect that back to you. First, it is the mind, the physical. You work on your perspective. And then once that goes into place, then your body starts to follow, and lastly, your spirit. And after your spirit starts to go into alignment, mind, body, spirit, then your reality catches up to reflect the new version of you. The version of you that's experiencing right now is the old version of you. That's why you feel uncomfortable, because you are not the same person that you were a year ago, 2 years ago. But you're still living the same lifestyle, the same life as the person that has no longer the version of you that's now. Because you have here as well, you have like a whole bunch of cards that came in, and originally I told Spirit I wasn't going to do these many cards, but then it was like it just kept coming up, so I'm just going to go with it. The card is that we have the living large. It's reverse. You don't value having to show off. You know your worth, and you don't need to show that through possession, materialism. You honor and you see value in the other things that other people around you don't see the same value in. You also have here as well shady dealings. You're somebody who's very honest. You're not the person who's willing to steal or try to do shady things just to be able to get by. Shady dealings in reverse simply tells you that you are somebody who has integrity, who has moral grounding. Here you do have a best friend, somebody who you trust. But oftentimes, more than that, you feel like they can't understand you, or you feel like there's a thought in your head where you feel like they would never understand you. And that's why oftentimes, more than that, you feel like you could say something, but your throat chakra is blocked, which is understandable because I'm wearing blue here. And it says you unsent text. Sometimes you feel like you were playing like a tug of war a little bit. Like you send a text, and then you're like, delete it. Or maybe you write out a text and you delete it before you even send it. You are an overthinker. You overthink very, very much. And here, so you also are a plot twist. You are about to undergo a major change. The people you thought backed you will no longer back you in the future. When you start to reach this level of success, when you start to reach this desire, this manifestation, when it starts to come in, those people who you thought would have supported you will be the ones who will backstab you. But also, the plot twist is on top of the text, the trusted friend as well. That tells me that there's one person in your life who knows you, who knows what you want to say, but is waiting for you to say it. And when you finally say it, you're going to get confirmation that they already knew. For some of you guys, this has to do with sexuality. It might have to do with a business idea. Maybe it's how you feel about somebody. They know something. You emulate that energy, but they're just waiting for you to make the move. When you are ready, when you're comfortable enough to be able to say it out loud, that's when you know it's real. That's when you know it is truth. Underneath your manifestation, your pastor's card, you have the move in. You are changing. You are going past. You are shifting. You are dynamic. You want to move. This is spiritual growth. And with this spiritual growth, you are dreaming about a bigger house, a bigger place to live, a place that you never thought of. Maybe you want to leave the country. Maybe you want to go to another town or a city, something where you feel more like home to you. That's your passion. You're going towards that because underneath that card with movement and the spiritual growth, above those two cards, you have manifestation card and the passage, which tells me you are manifesting leaving your outcome. You're manifesting leaving your job. You're manifesting leaving your own home life. You're manifesting maybe leaving a marriage that doesn't satisfy you. There's something here that indicates movement, and it is evolved through your spiritual growth, what you went through. Maybe some of you guys went through the dark night of the soul, or a major tower moment, a major sense of clarity that all of a sudden you woke up and you're like, this is not the life that I want for me anymore. And so you had a lifestyle, but now things are starting to blow up because you're starting to realize that the life, the old version of you, was never satisfied. The old version of you was never happy, genuinely. You just convinced yourself enough that this was what you settled for. But the thing is that you don't have to settle for it, because that's not for you. Because what's unfolding now is your fantasy world. And yes, you have been feeling numbed out. Yes, you feel like you're waiting, you're dragging, and that's on top of your passion and you're unfolding, you're waiting for it to come in. But Spirit is saying to not lose your hope, to not lose what you want to experience in this lifetime, to not be disconnected from your truth, what you always wanted, to not give up now. Because underneath your investment card, what's coming? Well, you have your created image. You need to be more authentic, and you are authentic. You are embracing yourself. You're embracing your rawness. Yes, people are criticizing. Yes, sometimes you have a big mouth, and sometimes you end up in areas where you are in a legal situation where you say the wrong thing to the wrong people, and they get hurt about it. But it doesn't mean that you have to close up. Doesn't mean that you have to prevent yourself from speaking, because the reality is that those people don't understand you and they never will. They will always criticize you, but your voice matters the most. The court date here on top of creating image, which means your authenticity challenges people. Your authenticity makes people uncomfortable. That's why you have the court date here on top of your authenticity. Because when you invest in you, when you invest in yourself without judgment of you, you force other people to realize, oh, I should have done this for myself too. I wish I was in the same position. You inspire other people through your own action. You make them have self-realization. You make them self-reflect. You are a mirror to those around you. When you walk, people have to think about where they are in life. Where they are in life, and this is where they want to be. You make them think, you make them question themselves. And that's exactly what this court date is. Because here you have it, the situationship. This is like a relationship that's a little toxic. I feel like there's this like love, hate, friendship, like frenemies type situation that's going on here. Because it does feel like maybe there is somebody who envies you, or somebody who is sending you evil eye but pretending to be a friend, or yeah, there's somebody who's pretending to be supportive of you, but it actually is your enemy, and you don't realize that. So that might resonate with some of you. As we start to move on towards the right side here, you have extreme brilliance. You are very creative. You are very bright. You are talented. And with that knowledge, with that thought, with your thinking, when you are staying true to your authenticity and you allow yourself to flow in with wealth, the wealth isn't just only through money. Money isn't just an indicator of wealth. Your indication of wealth is when you are emotionally stable, when you are financially stable, when you are mentally stable, when you are physically stable. That's wealth. That's abundance. You are attracting abundance. Abundance doesn't just come in the form of money. It comes with maybe an abundance of networking. Maybe it's an abundance of friends. Maybe it's an abundance of memories. Whatever it is, there's an abundance of some sort. But this is your creative light. If you are wondering where you are right now in your life and you're trying to figure out your path, go back to your memory. Go back to an idea that you had, because this is a memory that's going to trigger your authentic self, active self. When do I feel the most like me? And what is significant with that memory that comes to me? And with that, I want you to be able to think to yourself, how can I make this memory replicated to other people to experience too? Because I guarantee you, whatever this memory is, other people are wishing to have that. They are wishing for that. They are yearning for that. They need that as a part of their healing journey. You can provide that to them. That's why this brilliant card is here, because your brilliance is in the mind. Your consciousness is what's highly valued. That is the most valuable asset that you have. But the next card is here is saying is to not wait for the time to come, to make it work while you still can. To make it work, to start the opportunities now, to start moving in this direction. What can you do that uses the fullness of your brain, fullness of your memories, the fullness of your authenticity? How can I create and attract more abundance? And do with that, how can I make it work not only for me, but also for the universe? Because the universe wants you to know to give back to the world, give back to the universe. You take and you give. You take and you give. A lot of those people, a lot of those wealthy class elites who are gaining enormous amount of money, guess what? They're going to fall, because if they don't give back to the universe will take what's not theirs. So don't worry about them. Don't worry about their journey, because they will get their karma. But for you, you need to focus on you. Focus only on your journey, because you are different. And you need to embrace that. Because on top of this is your independence. Some of you guys are going to try to create your own business, maybe trying to create your own self-employment. Maybe some of you guys want to be able to pursue a creative endeavor. That is your ticket. That's your gold ticket. Leave with that. Whatever the first thought that popped in your head as they mentioned the word independent, leave with that. Go with that. Comment that in the comment section below. But go with your independent. Understand your brilliance. Understand how to make it work. And with that, abundance will flow to you when you are authentically you. The last two final cards here, it's interesting, it's confirming everything we've already talked about in this video, is self-employment. You need to head towards this direction because you know how this is also the Monarch, and in the beginning we talked about the Monarch indicating your memory. That ties back to the memory card and also spiritual growth. As you undergo the spiritual growth, you're going to start to realize that you were the one that was gifted. You were the key. You were so busy looking for the key outside, you didn't realize that you were the treasure. You didn't need a key. You were the chest. You were the one that's hiding the gold. You are the gold. This is the self-employment. When you start to embrace that, when you start to embrace who you are and your path and your direction and where you're heading in this life, that is the self-employment. You are going to be successful when you are authentically you. You are going to be successful when you embrace your memories, when you talk about those things, when you start to bring those experiences for other people to experience and to be able to heal. Your story needs to be heard when you are in alignment by healing other people through healing you. The last card here is forgiveness. This is telling me here, the forgiveness card is reversed also as well. It's saying to not wait for other people to accept you, to not wait for other people to understand you. And don't even more so wait for you to understand you. You will understand yourself over in time. You are undergoing a massive change, a massive recourse, a massive redirection. But this forgiveness card is simply telling me is to not have you wait, to not have you sit here and wonder whether or not it's coming, because it is coming for you. Your life is about to change. It's part of the unfolding process. It's about to blossom open. You are about to blossom, and all the investment that you put into this, all the investment that you put into your work and staying consistent, that debt that's been building up for the universe to finally reward you will with compounding interest. And in the end, the universe sees you as reliable, as resourceful. If you can show the universe that you are somebody who can be able to use their experiences to benefit everybody else around you, I just heard a little squeaky noise from my little dog right here. That is confirmation. That is confirmation that no matter what is happening in your life right now, is to put yourself first and to keep moving, keep pushing, keep going. Because eventually, with all that you're doing, it will reward you in time. So this is a sign that the universe is telling you to not give up, to not turn back, to keep going, because you are at the cusp of what's happening. You are at the cusp of your story, of the end of this chapter, and the start of a new chapter. But when you embrace you, when you embrace your healing aspect and feel the most vulnerable to be able to be authentically you as you can be, abundance will follow in many different ways, in many different forms. Don't worry about it. The universe got you. But the question is, do you got you? Thanks for watching.